Again, welcome to the Indo-Pacific Subcommittee hearing entitled Lasers and Water Cannons, Exposing the CCP's Harassment in the South China Sea. The South China Sea is an area of critical strategic importance for the United States and its allies and partners. It is one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world, with an estimated $5.3 trillion in annual trade flowing through its waters. The Philippines, Brunei, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, China, and Taiwan all have territorial claims. The waters are rich with natural resources, including seafood and large reserves of natural gas and oil. The Chinese Communist Party has long maintained illegal claims in the South China Sea, spreading propaganda about its notorious 9-dash line, which is now 10 dashes because they added a dash around Taiwan. Across the South China Sea, China has illegally dredged nearly 3,200 acres of new land, some of which serve as military outposts that have runways for military aircraft and isolated research platforms that can port military-grade vessels. These artificial islands allow the CCP's Coast Guard to maintain a permanent presence in the exclusive economic zones of our allies and partners. Further, illegal and unregulated fishing activities destroying the environment and depleting fishing stocks. I led a bipartisan CODEL with Representatives Andy Barr, Jonathan Jackson, Jasmine Crockett last month to Thailand, Philippines, and Indonesia so that we can assess the CCP's buildup in the South China Sea. Just a week before our trip, the CCP's Coast Guard used lasers to temporarily blind Philippine sailors and water cannons to stop Philippine Coast Guard ships from resupplying the Sierra Madre, a Philippine ship permanently stationed in the South China Sea to protect the Philippines' claims to the Spratly Islands. My delegation also flew on a mission with the U.S. Navy over the South China Sea, and we saw its congestion. Instead of open water, we saw civilian fishing fleets from South Asian countries, patrols from the Philippine Coast Guard, and vessels from the People's Liberation Army Navy and CCP Coast Guard. By far the largest and the most common vessels in the seas, all vying for the same water between rifts and islets. When flying near the Sierra Madre post, the CCP Navy radioed into our aircraft asking who we were and demanding that our plane turn around, claiming that we were flying over the Chinese territorial waters. This was clearly a bullying tactic, intimidation tactic. Our partners in the region need our help, and our allies are questioning if the U.S. will be there to help if the CCP escalates aggression in the South China Sea. We have willing partners and allies ready to hold firm against the CCP's aggression, but they need reassurances about the U.S.'s commitment to peace and security in the region. Just this month, for the first time ever, ASEAN countries held joint maritime patrols. The U.S. must encourage and support these activities in the South China Sea. Congress must take the CCP's aggression in the South China Sea seriously and ensure that our allied nations are getting the assurances from the administration that they need. This starts with ensuring our military is supporting these countries' maritime domain awareness missions. The U.S. must also strengthen its economic relationships with countries in the region as the CCP seeks to use its economic influence as a means to achieve political goals. The administration's rhetoric about trade in the region has been positive, but has not been met with deliverables. Finally, the administration must stop sidelining Congress on its fruitless engagements with the CCP. A number of senior officials have met with the CCP in recent months, while the CCP continues to double down on militarizing the South China Sea and acting aggressively toward the U.S. allies and partners. For the U.S. to be taken seriously in the South China Sea, discussions with the CCP on this matter must be held from a position of strength. So I look forward to hearing the witnesses' testimonies, and I yield the balance of my time.